All right, folks, welcome back to News One Now. Now some news about our show. Yesterday, it was publicly announced that TV One will be ending News One Now at the end of this year. Our last live show will take place on December 21st. Of course, we launched 4 years ago as the first daily morning show, specifically targeting African Americans. This was the brainchild of our CEO, Alfred Liggins, of course, and we started this conversation back in 2012 in terms of launching this show. It has been a remarkable 4 years with this show. This was the statement that was released, actually the email that was sent out by our interim general manager, Michelle Rice, to all of our properties in the company. It says, of course, after 4 years of award-winning programming and distinguished service to our viewers as the only black daily newscast on television, the network has made the difficult decision to suspend the production of News One Now as a daily morning news show. The last live show is scheduled for Thursday, December 21st, 2017. I will read the rest of it for you as well. And of course, this went out to the entire family. We realize how valuable News One Now has become in providing our community with the latest updates on the black agenda with analysis from experts in the incomparable Roland Martin. As you know, we even extended our news coverage beginning this quarter in an effort to save the daily show. We are committed to providing quality news content to our viewers, but now realize a daily news program is not sustainable in this current financial climate. Our plan is to take a moment to regroup and restructure News One Now in 2018 under a new format that will serve the needs of our diverse audience and the business, while we continue our long-standing partnership with Roland Martin to ensure his important voice can be heard across all Urban One platforms examining issues of importance to the black community. We regret this decision adversely affects several of our valued colleagues whose positions will be eliminated with the suspension of the show. Of course, that was our interim general manager, Michelle Rice, with that. And that was, of course, a letter that went out to all of the folks in our company. And just, and again, so many of you have watched this show, have been huge fans of this show, and you have, of course, supported us. I've seen your comments on social media have been very, of course, our hearts are warmed by that, but it is a reality. The fact of the matter is, there have been a number of things that we've covered over the last 4 years, things that, of course, stories that other people have ignored. But do understand that in this day and climate, look, I've run 3 black newspapers. I was the founding editor of BlackAmericaWeb.com, was a news editor at Savoy Magazine, have spent more years in black media than anything else. This is also, of course, this year, the 190th anniversary of the nation's first black newspaper, Freedom's Journal, where, of course, they wrote in the lead editorial, "We wish to plead our own cause. Too long have others spoken for us." For me, my voice will not be silenced. You have numerous platforms, numerous opportunities, the ability to be able to communicate with folks on social media as well. That voice will always be there speaking to our issues, whether being booked on somebody else's show, whether, of course, making comments online. But the most important thing is for us to understand that we move forward in terms of speaking to our issues and our concerns. What is important for our audience is to remember, and again, I'll bring up Freedom's Journal, that newspaper didn't eventually shut down after publishing several issues, but the reality is we still have black newspapers today. And so what we have been able to do with this particular show is also provide a platform to many voices who otherwise would not get booked by other networks. When you turn on CNN right now, you're going to see folks who actually were put on this show, and they actually saw them and hired them as a result of that. And so that is important for us to understand. And so, and as I said, so I understand a lot of people are hurt and disappointed by this. You made this your daily routine, and we've appreciated that. First launching the show at 9 a.m., then of course moving the show to 7 a.m. A lot of you on the West Coast, I hear from y'all all the time having to get up at 4 o'clock in the morning to watch this show. And so we certainly appreciate that. And so between now and December 21st, you can understand that we'll keep doing our job, keep giving folks hell, keep holding folks accountable, and doing and saying what is required to do so. Now, what I also want you to do is this. Of course, as you know, we mentioned this earlier, this show picked up 2 NAACP Image Award nominations. For the first time in history, you, the fans, not just members of the NAACP, will have an opportunity to actually vote on all of those particular awards in the 49th annual NAACP Image Awards, airing right here on TV One on January 15th. And so this show, of course, has been nominated in 2 categories. One of them, of course, Best Show, and pull a category up for that. And also, for me, Best Host. Last year won it for the first time of the category. And so do us a favor. You can go online to the NAACP's website and actually cast your vote in NAACPimageawards.net. And so that'll be a fitting goodbye for us to walk away with those 2 Image Awards. And so again, the deadline for you to cast your vote is December 15th. So don't procrastinate. And of course, you can watch the 2-hour live TV special hosted by Anthony Anderson on TV One on Monday, January 15th, 2018, 9 p.m. Eastern, 8 p.m. Central, with a 1-hour live red carpet pre-show at 8 p.m. Eastern, 7 p.m. Central. Scott, you better say something.
You know, I just think we'll come back in another form, as you say. I've learned more from you in the year and a half. Even though you and I go back and forth at it, I know what a bump is now. I never knew what a bump was before.
Other than a fist bump?
Beyond that. And I also think that election night, I come back to election night last year when Trump won, and that set up at the restaurant with 1,000 fans there, and we were broadcasting. I've never seen anything done like that before. So even though we tell our stories and what have you, and we celebrate and be unapologetically black, we've done some pretty original things on Newsway. When I say we, because I'm a regular on Mondays and now on Thursdays and stuff, I think that'll be missed. Not just our voice, but also the originality of how we celebrate our blackness.
And just that from a cultural perspective, nobody tells our story like ourselves.
Exactly.
That far too often it gets filtered, it gets diluted, and by the time, it's like Malcolm X said, you take hot coffee and you start adding cream and sugar to it, and then you get something unrecognizable. That's often the story of ourselves in media. So by having that voice, we have to continue that conversation on every platform possible.
I just say thank you for being your authentic self and bringing it every single day, and encouraging us all to use our voices in the way that you do. So, you know, it's a sad thing.
He's an alpha, so you got to be really limited.
Don't hate.
Okay. Weekdays on TV One.
I will never lie to you.
Oh my God.
Roland Martin.
He doesn't want to talk to us. He wants to ignore us.
Uncensored.
Hell no.
That ain't gonna cut it, boo.
Unapologetic.
No, that is fundamentally false. You are wrong.
Unfiltered.
He wants an America where we all look alike. He ain't talking about black people.
Unrelenting.
You better go work out, because you got a fight on your hands.
NewsOne Now with Roland Martin. Weekdays at 7 a.m. on TV One.